It's honestly been such a long time since I've been to the movie theater with a crowd not just ready to party, but also present only to support, love on, and thoroughly enjoy the movie being shown. Has director and writer Greta Gerwig and director and co-writer Noah Baumback managed to revitalize the movie-going experience with the Barbie movie? I would say yes and no, but that's not because the Barbie movie is a bad movie. On the contrary, I will tell you right here, right now, that the Barbie movie, directed by Greta Gerwig and co-written by her and her husband Noah Baumbach, is not only insanely good, but surprisingly funny, deeply emotional, and very brave. I would classify this movie as brave and 100% needed. The Barbie movie is a masterclass in showing a perfect balance between message versus story, which is perfect because that's what this movie is basically about. Finding balance because the world, quite frankly, is full of shit people, both men and women. Hello, my name is Ivan Montero, and thank you for joining me in my journey to watch every movie ever created. Not really, but we are gonna get close. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the Barbie movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, you may proceed safely and peacefully, knowing you will not be spoiled right here in this space with me. No spoilages. None. When I first heard about this movie, I was skeptical because I thought it was going to be yet another agenda-forward movie that ignores story and doesn't really have a proper story or proper storytelling. Then I saw Margot Robbie was cast for this movie and I thought something might have been up, and then Ryan Gosling was cast for this movie and I thought something is definitely up. And along the way, I heard some rumors about this movie that made me both worried and excited to see this movie. I'm not really much of a rumor mill man. I don't really like rumors or hearing leaks. I like to go in as unexposed as possible. There are certain instances in which I will make a personal judgment in which I want to proceed and know something ahead of time, whether it's mostly business, it's mostly entertainment business stuff. However, the rumors I did hear, turns out, were technically true, but in the best way possible. I only bring this up to show you that tone, delivery, and context are key when quoting anything or when talking about someone or something. You don't know the full story, and neither do we. So it's literally ridiculous to predispose an opinion on something even before it comes out, because again, you don't know the story. They're only rumors, they're only leaks that may or may not be true. You don't know. And that's literally the case with any movie. Any and all rumors about this movie should be thrown away. I ignored what I could, and I tried to go into this movie with realistic expectations, but I mean, I bought my first pink article of clothing for this movie specifically, and this shirt is freaking soft. I'm gonna be wearing this a lot. But do have realistic expectations about this. This is a dramedy, but we will, I'll discuss that in a little bit. For me, the Barbie movie was both exactly what I expected it and nothing at all in the best way. Turns out, like I said, this movie is a dramedy. It is definitely not for young kids. But maybe. I don't currently have kids, but I feel like if I did, I wouldn't really hide much for them because I was sheltered, I grew up sheltered, and I don't necessarily believe in the sheltered or conservative growing up kind of lifestyle. So I do think I would at least let my 5th grader watch this, both girl and a boy. Why? Because this movie is about growing up, transitioning from childhood to adulthood, realizing that life has its stages, and that's okay. You gotta grow up, you gotta move on. And that's what this movie is. Leaving the childlike things behind in the past because that was a season in your life, and now you're moving into a new season of life as a more mature version of you. However, the primary target of this movie isn't children at all. A lot of my, again, conservative friends, anytime I posted on Instagram about the Barbie movie, were always like, "You're excited about a girls movie?" To which I would respond, "Aha! This movie is for you, ya butts!" And a lot of my general male friends just assumed this movie was solely written and made only by women, and I'm like, aha! This movie is for you, ya butts! In all honesty, this movie is definitely for adults, and it's 100% for both men and women. This movie is designed to be that way, and yes, I say designed because this movie is an art piece, but this movie is designed to be relatable for women in the way only women can relate, and then relatable to men in ways only men can relate. It's why both wife and husband co-wrote the script together to accurately portray both sides, and I think they accurately portrayed both sides very well. It's unfortunate, but I already know a few people off the top of my head who will hate this movie for exactly the reason this movie points out. But honestly, if you are a dude or even a girl and you see this movie and you are offended for any reason whatsoever, honestly, I don't really see how. I mean, this is exactly how the world is. So honestly, the only thing I have to say to you is the exact same thing that everybody else has been saying to you, is that if you have a problem with the movie, if you are offended somehow with this movie, check yourself. If it's for a good reason, alright, I'll hear you out, I'll give you a chance, but if it's not, change. I, as a man, sure, couldn't relate with America Ferrera's frustration as a woman, but I could relate with the emotions because honestly, who I saw through America Ferrera's character was my own mom. Was my sister. I said, that's my family right there. This movie shows both sides and how to deal with each other, and I choose to take and learn from it. Because again, the movie handled it so well. Greta Gerwig has crafted a visually beautiful film that feels both nostalgic and brand new all at the same time. It's insane how convincing all of the effects are in this movie, yet Quantumania, She-Hulk, Thor Love and Thunder, and now The Flash all have really bad VFX, especially The Flash. Side note, but I will die on the hill that is my statement that a Hollywood director made an insanely lazy and amateurish creative choice for his $200 million movie. There's no excuse! Everyone knows what incomplete looks like, Andy Piscotty. Everyone knows what incomplete looks like. You can't get away. If it was really a creative choice, lazy, 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 lazy. I'm sorry, I'm a designer, and if it really was a creative choice, laziness. That's all it was. Boo. Great movie, terrible special effects, but now we're back. But the Barbie movie blew me away. I'm a sucker for well done DIY looking type of movies. We don't always need CGI for every single thing we see on screen, and Greta Gerwig proves it with this movie. She tried to use very little CGI, but this is where if you want to make a movie and you want it done well on a low budget, watch this movie. It is done so insanely well. Granted, they can get away with it because it's Barbie land. It's a toy land. But just to watch it, it's just cute and creative visually. I loved it. A lot of people are going to compare it to Wes Anderson and they're going to say it's Wes Anderson-like, but no, I say it's Greta Gerwig-like. Now, for a movie that has bright colors and looks super pretty, there's a lot of adult themes and adult humor throughout the film, and my audience honestly was roaring at some of the jokes, including myself, because honestly, they are written and delivered that well. So I was pretty much smiling throughout the entire film, because really no matter what part you are in the movie, whether it's sad or serious, you're thoroughly invested and you're just enjoying the ride. The humor is also super meta to the point where you're just like, Mattel and Warner Brothers, is that you really actually having fun? The movie isn't drop dead funny throughout the entire movie, because this is more of a drama comedy. It's a dramedy. But of course, there are some serious moments throughout the film which are beautifully written and beautifully handled, and the fact that there is drama, there is seriousness, there's contemplations, and there's a ton of humor, like a ton of humor, all packed in this nicely neat little Barbie-like package. But of course, Greta Gerwig and Baumback masterfully wrote an evenly balanced script, so we aren't bombarded with too much of one thing. The only thing there was genuinely way too much of was characters and actors in this movie for me to spotlight, and if I were to do each one, that would take 5 ever. Maybe I'll do a ranking my favorite character, maybe favorite Barbie and Ken. Maybe. We'll see. The problem isn't the fact that this movie has so many supporting characters. The problem is that all of them did so well. All of them were having so much fun. Each one honestly brings home the bacon, and if you're vegan or vegetarian, brings home the bagels, and if you're gluten-free, brings home the— but seriously, everyone looked like they were having the most fun while filming this movie. These types of movies in which you can tell the actors aren't just there to earn a paycheck or there because acting is life, but rather they are there because they want to have the most fun making the most fun thing on the planet. That shows. That translates through their acting, through what we see, and we also have fun with them. So all of them did a really good job, but I kind of want to highlight just a few. Everyone thought Margot Robbie had found her thing with Harley Quinn in the DCEU, now the DCU, but the way Margot Robbie basically lives and breathes Barbie, somehow that makes her already stunning performance as Harley Quinn look like child's play. And I'm serious. If Margot doesn't at least get a nomination for this, then the system's definitely rigged. It's rigged! She is Barbie. And just how Margot Robbie is Barbie, Ryan Gosling is Ken. What a perfect casting. I thought it was a little too on the nose at first when I heard about it, but nope. It was perfect indeed. The dude even gets a song or two, which both had my theater and myself laughing so loud. People were crying from laughing. It's a little bit of a silly performance, but the context is that these are child's toys, so the characters themselves are childlike. Not childish, they are childlike. So the mindsets and the way these characters make their choices and are confused sometimes by the choices themselves as why they have to make these choices are even reflections of how children's play these toys. And it shows the innocence of children playing with toys. It's so good. But Ryan Gosling perfectly portrays this, and his character goes through his own self-discovery through this film. He is written in so well. Wow. I didn't know that America Ferrera was in this movie until about like a month ago, and I pretty much love her in anything she does. I haven't really seen all of the things she's been in, but she has the quite impressive resume. But seeing her here after Superstore was really great. I'm pretty sure the internet is already going crazy about this, but she has a monologue towards the end of Act 2, and that one had all of the women in my theater crying because of how just on the nail it was, and two, all of the men in my theater fully engaged, and it was a pivotal moment that women can use to be fully heard and men can use to learn and hear women. Ferrera did amazing, honestly. At some point when watching this, I guarantee you, she probably stopped acting, stopped reciting lines, and just start letting her raw emotions show. And whoa, that she deserves an Oscar for that. It's so funny to see Marvel Shang-Chi in a Barbie movie going head to head for Barbie's attention opposite of Ryan Gosling. That's super hard to do, but Simu Liu is surprisingly hilarious, and he held his own against Ryan Gosling. He is on top of his comedic game here. He is also Ken. It's great. A couple people I want to mention really quick are Kingsley Ben-Adir. You really wouldn't know it from his lackluster performance on Secret Invasion, but this dude is hilarious. Watch out for him every time he is on screen. He does a lot of physical acting in this, and it is funny every time. Alexandra Shipp, another one that is also hilarious. Aside from Margot Robbie, Alexandra Shipp seemed like the most closest to Barbie out of all of the Barbies. Michael Cera is also in this movie, and I think he is hilarious. He has a lot of vocal work to do, and you'll understand once you see the movie. But my theater fell in love with Alan. I fell in love with Alan. Everyone falls in love with Alan. But it's also because of Michael Cera. He did such a great job. And then there's Will Ferrell, and I will say it, I'm not really a Will Ferrell man. However, Will Ferrell is not himself in this movie, and that's really honestly the saving grace. Frankly, you kind of forget that the dude's even in the movie. I wonder if he had a bigger role in the movie and they kind of just cut him from the movie, because Will Ferrell is very much a minor character in this movie. So honestly, the Barbie movie is a masterpiece, and I loved it. I tried to see if I could find anything wrong with this movie, and I basically can't. Honestly, there's nothing I would change about this movie. Literally nothing I would change about this movie. I give the Barbie movie a bold 9.5 out of 10, or an A. But you know what? An A plus. One gave it an A+. Thank you for watching my spoiler-free review for the Barbie movie, written and directed by Greta Gerwig. Have you seen this movie yet? If so, what did you think? If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? Do you plan to partake in Barbenheimer? If so, which one are you seeing first, this one or Oppenheimer? Personally, I saw this movie last night. I'm not gonna wait about a week to go see Oppenheimer, mainly because I don't have time to go see it before then. But I am definitely the one who, I need a break between movies. I don't think I can do double features. I've never really done double features, so no thank you. Barbenheimer, not for me, but you guys have fun, but just, you know, just I don't think it's a good idea, but that's fine, baby. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing. My social media links are in the description below, including the links to my website and my Patreon, and I will see you next time. You've just been Montified.